G'day everyone, welcome back to another episode. Today we are at day 18 and the grass has really come on the last probably 4 or 5 days. It's actually tillering on its own now and still haven't mowed it, which is what we're going to do today, but it's actually already starting to tiller, which is awesome. So it's starting to thicken up and look really good. So I'll go down now, we'll do a quick look. So basically that's how it's looking at the moment at day 18. Definitely can't complain. Still a little bit thin up in those patches there, but it will fill in. I'm not going to worry about getting too upset about it all. The patch that I damaged last week, you can just start to see there's some fresh seed coming through there now, so that should fill in over the next couple of, be at least a couple of weeks I'd say before that's back to where it was. We had a fair bit of dew this morning, so you can see the lines in the turf there. I just had the lawn rake and just went over it all just to try and get as much water off it as I could before we mow. So today we're probably going to look at whipping over the top of it with the rotary mower first. Reason for that, just to see if we can pick up any rocks or larger bits of bark before we run the cylinder mower over it. So I'm going to have it at quite a high setting at first, and then we'll get the cylinder mower out. I've set the cylinder mower at about 28 mil, which is as high as I can get it. So it should be nowhere near the ground anyway, but I just wanted to make sure we collect as much as I can off with the rotary first. But you can see just how thick this is now. You can't even see the soil underneath now. It's really thickened up and it looks really good. Super stoked with how it looks. Before we start, I just want to check the height on some of this stuff. So we're looking, let's see, most of it's sitting around the 40 mil mark, which hasn't grown a huge amount in this last week. It could be because it's really cooled down here. This is probably one of the thinner parts, but if we head up over here to the thicker areas, might be a bit more growth. No, still around the 40. Sorry about my compressor going off in the background there. But yeah, probably 40, 45-ish. It all seems to be. So that's good. There's a couple that might be just about at the 50 mark. For those watching over in the US, welcome. Yeah, about 1.5 inches, roughly. Alrighty, let's get into it. So that's the first cut done with the rotary. It basically did what I wanted it to do, so it did collect up a lot of the junky stuff off the lawn. There's a couple of rocks and a bit of bark and stuff like that, a bit of loose soil, but it did clean it up. I could hear it coming through the catcher when we were doing it, so that was really good. I'm glad I did that just to whip over it before we put the cylinder mower on it. I'll just show you. So basically, you just see there, it's obviously darker material just from all the dirt and stuff that's been picked up, but some good clippings in there. It took a bit off the top, which is good. Over by the water meter there's a bit of wet stuff, so I have to be a bit careful over there, but so far so good. Now the fun part, we'll get into the cylinder mow. Alrighty guys, so my weapon of choice for mowing today is going to be my Rover Select, which I backlapped yesterday just to make sure it was cutting well because I don't really want to damage the grass too much. So hopefully give it that nice good clean cut to avoid any burning on it. I also took my solid front roller off and put the open end roller on, just because with ryegrass it obviously flattens quite easily, and I want to try and capture as much lawn as I can for this initial cut. But yeah, other than that, I might do the first couple of passes with the catcher on just to see how much clippings we're getting off, and then I'll probably look at taking the catcher off and then just letting it mulch into the grass, just to give it a little bit more, or I guess feed it with the clippings, and then that way it can hopefully, any other seed that's left, it can help. So that's how it's come up after the rotary mow. Actually looks really good, pretty happy with how it's come up. So we'll get into that now, and then I'll get the drone up as well so we can see some aerial shots, and that should show basically how it's thickening up and where the real bare spots are, and then we can work on those as we go. All right, let's get into it. Alrighty guys, so that's pretty well it. Giving it a mow. Like I was saying before, it's about 28 mil the height of cut at the moment, so we'll probably bring it down to about 25-ish, maybe even 20. We'll see how we go. I'll see how much growth we get, but I'll leave it for a week now, let it recover. You can see there's some spots where it's tore the leaf a bit, where I've pivoted with the mower, but it should be okay. I'll get the water back onto it shortly and give it a good drink. But yeah, we'll leave it as it is now for the next week, and then we'll probably do a foliar fert application. We won't be using iron yet. It'll just be like Seaweed Secrets, a bit of humic, maybe a bit of Activate Mate. We'll see how we go. It's a bit too early to start putting like your stress busters and your liquid irons and stuff on this yet. It's probably another couple of weeks away at least yet. So yeah, it's filling in really good. I'm really happy with how it's looking. I hope you've enjoyed watching it come along. I'm really happy with how it's come along this year. All that effort has paid off, and it should just continue to get better from here. Really happy with how it's mowed, and then yeah, it's gonna hopefully be really good winter with this. We'll be able to play around with it and try and get some cool stripes going. But I only mowed one direction today. I didn't want to stress it out by doing multiple directions, so we'll probably just stick to this pattern for at least the first month or two, and then we'll look at doing some cross mows and getting some diamonds or whatever we feel like, because with ryegrass you can generally just stripe up whatever pattern you want. But yeah, other than that, guys, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Like this video. Appreciate your support, and I'll see you at the next one. Cheers.